dads. Can we talk dads for a second? The unsung, behind the scenes hero. Um, I'm talking to you if you're married and you have your husband who is kind of the behind the scenes guy. That's how it has always been in my house. My husband and I have been married 32 years and we have 5 kids. And he doesn't teach the lessons. He absolutely is not the homeschool teacher. He is we definitely fall into the traditional family, husband, wife, kids. I'm the teacher, he's the principal, and he has always led our homeschooling without a red pen. What does that mean? He doesn't teach math, he doesn't teach science, doesn't teach history or literature, doesn't grade essays, but the man keeps us focused. I love homeschool dads that can see the true goal of homeschooling is to raise amazing adults. In our house, that means raising future men that we're going to be sending off into the universe. Already have sent 2, going to be soon sending the 3rd, and possibly even the 4th and the 5th very soon. I want to talk to you about the unsung hero, the guy behind the scene. In your house, it may be that your husband or your other party does most of the teaching and you're the unsung hero. But for the sake of this, I'm going to be talking about my husband or dads in general behind the scenes and how important it is that we don't overlook them. I don't know about you, but everywhere I go, when people meet us as a family and they know our kids, 100% of the time, they look at me and they say, "Wow, you've done a great job raising those kids." Hello? I don't do it alone. My husband is the champion behind the scenes. And I know that culturally, and in our house, very much so, I am the one with the hands-on with the kids, always have been. My husband's the hard worker behind the scenes, providing for our family, creating a safety haven that we can actually teach our kids well and bring them up. But he doesn't get a lot of credit. He doesn't get a lot of credit for the fact that the boys are amazing, all of them, that they're talented and gifted and disciplined and hardworking. And I want you to know that if you, like me, don't have a husband who grades an essay or wants to go to the curriculum fair with you, yeah, doesn't want to go to the homeschool conferences, all that's okay. Their job is to keep us focused. What is the goal of homeschool? The goal of homeschool is to raise our kids in the way they should go and to help them be amazing adults by the time they leave home, right? So a lot of times, not always, but a lot of times, the dad is the champion of making sure that it's character first because they don't want to raise jerks, right? I don't want to raise a jerk either. And so my husband, all through our journey, has always helped me see that character and heart were 100% more important than curriculum. Oh, he trusts me 100% with the curriculum because he knows that at the end of the day, they're going to learn to read, they're going to learn to write, they're going to learn to count and do all the things and ask the great questions. But if they're not amazing people at the end of the journey, then dad might not have done the best job educating them, right? And so the dad's role often is this behind the scenes. And it's okay that you and your husband, you and your partner have different roles in this whole homeschool journey. It's okay. You don't have to thread the same needle. That's something that my dad would always say. My mom and dad worked together for many years, and meaning they worked together, they ran a business together. And as long as they didn't try to do exactly the same thing, it worked out beautifully. Homeschooling's like that. One of you, some will carry a balanced load. Some of the homeschool partners or moms or wives or whatever will do the teaching of the reading and the writing. The dads will do the science and the history, or vice versa, kind of wherever your strengths are, this division of power. But I just want you to know that just because a dad doesn't pick up a pen, doesn't teach a math lesson or whatever, I'm just talking in that direction right now, that's okay. It doesn't mean that they don't support you. It doesn't mean that they're not all on board. It means typically that they're hardworking and that they're focused on the long-term goal, the end of the journey, right? We can get so lost on page 47 of a curriculum, and they have this amazing and frustrating ability to see through page 47 to the end of the thing. Are the kids whining? Is the house a disaster? Do they complain? Are they having fits because they have to do that's the kind of stuff that the dad's going to see, because in our house he has the ability to see the end goal much better, much clearer than I do. So I'm reminded of every year, I thank my husband implicitly for the blessing of supporting our family in a way that we know what our roles are in homeschooling. As my hair just gets in my eye, we know what our roles are, right? We divide it in a way that works for us, and you might divide it differently. But as June rolls through and the 3rd of June starts to come along, it's worth pausing and doing something with the kids to bring him into the spotlight, especially if he's kind of one of those behind the scenes dads, because they can be the unsung hero behind the scenes quietly. So I pulled together a few things, some ideas for us to consider as we want to bless and kind of put the spotlight on the men behind the scenes. And let's see if we can go here. So, and just to go back there into the whole idea of homeschooling in general, I have to tell you that it's kind of it's something that we need to watch for when we have questions about homeschool, when we have questions about teaching a topic. We will search everywhere on the planet. We'll Google, we'll ask our friends, we'll ask our neighbor, and we'll forget to ask the guy. We'll forget to ask the dad, the dude, the big man, what he thinks about things. And don't make that same mistake that I did. It took me a long time to see the beauty of the balance that we have in how we raise our kids. So anyway, when you follow the link in the tab, there is this whole thing about dad's role in homeschooling. The ways that my husband leads without teaching are things like he casts the vision for homeschool. He keeps us focused on the Lord. He reminds me all the time that character is the most important thing. He reminds us to focus on life skills and attitude rather than a particular academic skill. He helps me regulate my schedule. He has the ability to see me all razzle tazzle frazzled and know that it's because I'm trying to do too much, like I'm majoring in the minors. And he also trusts me when it comes to the nitty gritty of curriculum. And so when all that is said and done, I pulled together these 5 different things that we can do, different ways that we can celebrate dad. So when you come to this page, you click on the 5 ways, it opens to another page. So I need to connect it to a different page. So bear with me just for a second. Ways to say Happy Father's Day. There we go. And of course, my son is blowing off the back deck, so hopefully you can hear me. So here are 5 different ways that you can celebrate Father's Day and bring the kids along with you. The first one is if your guy is an outdoors guy, anything camping would be fantastic. My husband is a hammocker, and so they love to go hammock camping. There are these, write this down, these dried foods called the Packet Gourmet They're so good. And if you go camping with your husband, they're very easy to make and they're delicious. So they even have like multi-tools, Leatherman type. In my house with the 5 boys, if you ask anybody for a knife, knives come out all over the place. They love blades, they love multi-tools. And no, one is not enough. Ask any man almost on the planet, you must own more than one knife. I don't get it, but they do. Some cool gloves with flashlights in the fingers just for fun. I loved this mug if you're expecting. It's a mug from the Baby Bump. Thought it was super, super cute. Anything golf, anything activity. Think of things that you can do that will create a memory or an experience. This last year, I found some blacksmithing classes for my husband and our sons, and they were able to go and forge their own knives. That was super, super cool. Let's see, biking. I have an active husband and active sons that love to be outdoors, even blow off the deck right when their mom is making a video. It's awesome. So there's all kinds of cycling type things. If your kids are little and you're looking to do some kind of craft or keepsake or card type thing that you can do with them, these are super cute. Amy with Planning Playtime does an amazing job with her printables. And this is a superhero pack, which would work beautifully for dads. And then you can also make dad the center of a homeschool lesson where you can have your kids interview him every year. They can create a PowerPoint presentation about their dad, all kinds of stuff. And I even have, I'm going to click over and I'm going to put this on sale right now. It is a Father's Day keepsake where they create an activity booklet that's in the shape of a toolbox, and then some cool little tool pieces that the kids can cut and add to the toolbox just to make it super fun. So anyway, click over and you will be able to find those things. But don't forget dad. Don't forget whichever of you is more behind the scenes. Know that you're important. Know that homeschooling doesn't work as well if we don't do our piece. And sometimes the piece is not the most seen. For a few years, my husband worked for NASA, and it was a really amazing season of life. And one of the lessons at NASA that we gleaned was that everybody's job was important. Not just the astronaut, but the guy that was making sure that the right screw was holding stuff together was equally as important and equally valued. And when it comes to dad in homeschooling, it's the same thing. Doesn't matter who is the one that's actually doing the thing. You're equally important, equally valuable, and equally champions working together to raise your kids in a way that at the end of the race, at the end of the line, at the end of the journey, you're both going to be able to say, you know what, we did good. So make sure you celebrate dad this year. Make sure you celebrate him in style. It doesn't have to cost a lot of money. Do something creative. And if you have any amazing ideas for Father's Day, drop them in the comments below. We would love to kind of make this an idea thread as well. So have a great day, and I will see you next time.